So just so you guys know, I had the setup changed for tonight. We had all the tables pulled out of here and more chairs because I feel like everybody deserves to be here tonight. It was a great event. The bonus was $65,000. Fight of the night was Edgar versus Henderson. KO of the night was Anthony Pettis.
Yeah.
And Von Lee won the submission of the night. Congratulations, guys. All right, who's got the first question? Hey.
Do you have an official attendance?
No, we don't have it yet. We have this discrepancy over the attendance. That's what I'm looking at right now. Don't have the official attendance yet.
Fair enough. Your thoughts on the main event? Right decision made?
What's that?
Your thoughts on the main event and the decision?
Yeah, it was a great fight. You know, I think it's one of those things. Scoring is subjective, and that was a close fight and a hard fight to score.
What does this victory mean for Anthony Pettis in terms of a title shot?
I think he's going to get it.
I guess just to follow up on that, the Diaz-Miller fight, a lot of people thought that might be a #1 contender fight coming up. Can you say what implication that has on that fight?
We'll see what happens. I hate to do this stuff the night of the fights, and you guys know that, yet you always ask me the night of the fight.
Well, in fairness, Joe Rogan went on the broadcast and said, I've been told by Zuffa that that's going to be the next fight. That's the fight they want is for Henderson and Pettis to fight. So
we'll see what happens then. I guess I'll keep you in suspense.
Fair enough. Rampage, if we start with you, obviously a disappointing night, I'm sure, for you. Can you talk about your feelings tonight and just, you know, how the fight played out versus your expectations?
Well, if I'm going to be critically honest, you know, I'm not surprised that I lost the fight because I tried to keep it a secret. I almost didn't make it to the fight, but I didn't want to pull out for the Japanese fans. I injured my knee pretty bad, and my doctor told me not to fight, but it wasn't real serious. I didn't need surgery or nothing, but he just told me it wasn't a good idea to fight. And I decided to fight anyway, and I re-injured the knee when Bader slammed me. So it's like one of those things. Even, you know, I was worried about it. So before the slam, you know, I wasn't doing a really good job. I was worried about it, and I had to lose a lot of weight because I couldn't really run and stuff. So it was downhill from the day I hurt my knee in the gym, and that's why I just wanted to put on a exciting fight, and I'm just happy to even just make it here and try to put on a show for the Japanese fans.
And you mentioned that you and Dana kind of butted heads, I guess. Was it because of the injury? What happened there? Can you elaborate at all?
No, it was Dana wanted me to fight Chicago, and I really wanted to fight here, so that's the only thing. Me and Dana, we didn't get in a big argument this time. You know, what I'm saying, we talked it out, and I ended up Dana, you know, graciously let me fight in Japan, so we didn't butt heads too bad. It wasn't a big breakup this time, was it, Dana?
Not at all.
And I guess last question, Rampage. A lot of people coming into this fight thought maybe win or lose, this might be potentially your last fight. Did that ever cross your mind, or is it in your mind at all right now?
No. See, I know I'm getting to the end of my career because I said I don't want to fight past 35. But honestly, before I hurt my knee, you guys should have seen the way I was training. You know what I'm saying? I got like really good sparring partners, and I got this really good wrestler named Tyson Jeffries that kicks my butt in wrestling. And in the beginning of this camp, I was kicking his butt. I was taking him down, and wrestling got real competitive. And that's how I hurt my knee. And because you know, he's one of the best wrestlers I know, and I was dealing with him. I was handling him. I was sparring really good, and I was looking like a superstar. Then I hurt my knee, so that made me think like, oh man, I got a long more time to fight. And so, you know, when I got hurt, it was just unfortunate. But now, you know, so I know what I can do if I come in 100%. So I think I got a lot of years, and I'm ready to put on more shows. I heal up fast. I'm like a werewolf. I wasn't even supposed to fight here, so I heal up fast. I'll be back really soon.
All right, thanks. And just one quick question for Anthony. Obviously, the maybe, possibly, likely title fight. Just, I guess, you know, say what that means to you, and you know, how much you're looking forward to this fight against your opponents. Just talk about that whole scenario, I guess.
Yeah, man, it means the world to me, man. I was supposed to get a title shot last year. That didn't happen the way it was supposed to, and I just came back focused, and I'm ready to go, man. So Henderson did his thing tonight, and we got some unfinished business. Let's first take care of it.
Dana, just your thoughts on this ever-evolving, incredible story that is Mark Hunt and that performance tonight.
Yeah, no, I went back and saw him after the fight and told him, hey, much respect, man. I told everybody at the last press conference, the last time he fought, I bow down. I apologize and give him much respect for what he's done, especially at his age. And I'm older than you, so I'm not calling you old there, brother, but you know, a lot of respect for him.
Dana, a question about Mark Hunt now. With this victory over Czech, what kind of opponents are you looking at for him?
Interesting. It was a big win for him, man. Beating Congo was a big win. So, again, we'll see. He's definitely in the mix.
Hey Dana, to me watching the main event, I thought this was the first fight where I thought Frankie was really struggling to keep up with Ben just size-wise. I was wondering if you felt the same way.
Yeah, I agree. I've been saying that about him, but when have you not seen that with him? I've been asking the kid to go to 145 for a long time. He didn't want to, and I actually thought the fight was a lot closer tonight than the judges did.
I mean, were you kind of persuade him to move down in weight, or is it completely his decision? I mean, what kind of conversation would you have?
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's his decision. I mean, the guy, if you look at what he's accomplished, for me to come in and, it's before, it's like when I was telling him, the kid's the world champion. He's beat BJ Penn twice, and everybody else in that division, his only loss ever was to Gray Maynard, which, he avenged big time. But, it's going to be up to him, but I'd love to see him do it. I think, a fight with him and Jose Aldo would be fun.
I don't want to sound negative because I'm like you. I mean, obviously he's been winning a lot of fights at 155, but do you think that these last few fights where he's gone through some tribulations maybe have taken possibly some time off of his career?
Yeah, I'm never a big fan of guys fighting out of their weight class. I'm not a big fan of it at all. But like I said, it's hard to argue with a kid that's, done as many great things as he has. I would love to see him move to 145. I think he's a force to be reckoned with there, and I think he could. He'll be a great challenge for Jose Aldo.
A couple questions for Ryan Bader. Congrats on the win. I'm wondering what it was like for you to be standing actually in the cage. I know that there was a lot of build-up to this fight, so you were prepared for Rampage and the idea of facing Rampage. But when the Pride music came on and the Japanese crowd was going crazy, what was that experience like for you?
Yeah, it's pretty surreal. But I've been in big fights before, and fighting a guy like Rampage at that time, he just turned it off and just view him as another guy standing across the cage. So yeah, I respect him, and it was a cool experience, and but you got a job to do, and at that moment in time, that's what I'm thinking about.
How intimidating was it for you?
No, it goes back to the same thing I was just talking about. You turn that off. It's you trained your butt off for so long for that one moment. So you're not thinking about that. You're thinking about what you're going to do and what you want to implement in there, and you're not worried about what he's going to do. So that's how my mindset going in.
Were you in trouble after the slam? I know it's probably tough to remember, but then you got to your feet and he was landing some punches. But how tough was that sequence for you?
Yeah, he was hanging his head down there, and I was kind of surprised. And right when I threw my knee up, he was waiting for that to catch my leg, and I knew that. And he's a strong dude, so I was going. I was in the air, and he did slam me pretty good, and he rocked me pretty. Landed right on my neck. So I was coming up, I was kind of out of it, and I just saw a big old dude coming at me, swinging at me. So I kind of got my wits about me and got back to my feet. But yeah, I was rocked a little bit.
Is it a big step for you personally, just getting through that kind of situation mentally? Obviously you've been faced with some tough spots earlier in your career against Jones, against Ortiz. It didn't go your way this time. You got your wits about you. You were able to secure the fight. Is that a big step for you personally?
Yeah, it's great being in those fights, and I made a lot of changes after the Tito fight, and I'm better for it. And had a couple good fights on this year. So I'm just looking to the future and keep getting better and keep doing what I'm doing.
Dana, for just your thoughts on Tim Boetsch, because he just beat the guy that last fought, that Anderson just beat, and Okami was arguably number 3 at middleweight on the rankings, and Tim beats him.
Everybody knows how much respect I have for Yushin Okami. I say it all the time. And what I tweeted tonight and what I told Tim when I saw him backstage is, when a fighter's down 2 rounds to nothing, that is exactly what you're supposed to do in the 3rd round. I wish more guys would do that. When you're down like that, what do you have to lose? You have nothing to lose and everything to gain to go out and go balls to the wall and go after it and try to win and try to finish. And that's exactly what he did, and that's what every fighter should do when they're down 2-0 in a 3-round fight. It was awesome.
Tim, can you talk about that conversation when the boss comes over and talks to you like that, and what was going through your mind when you like Dana said, you had to put it all on the line in the 3rd round, and with that victory, you just beat a top guy.
Yeah, I fully intended on coming in here and beating him tonight, but didn't so much want to get beat up for 2 rounds to do it. But good conversation with Dana, glad to get the win. Certainly very happy to set him down with that uppercut I've been hunting for forever. But no, I'm real excited. Certainly it launched me towards the top of the ladder and really excited to keep climbing. You know, there's only a couple more guys up there higher than Okami, and I welcome the challenge to whoever's next.
I have two questions for you and one question for Japanese fighters. And the first question is the UFC has come back to Japan for a long time, and in your mind, what do you see this process and the start of the weekend and the finish the event in the maybe the future of the new events you come back to here to the.
Right. Well, what's happened is over the last 10 years, I've heard a lot of things that were true and a lot of things that were myths about what it's like here in Japan and about what would happen and how we could get this done. And this was an absolutely amazing event. It exceeded my expectations. I mean, we had over 5,000 people at the weigh-ins, and I know a lot of the media was saying they'll be lucky if they have 100. And you know, there's been all kinds of like negativity about coming back to Japan, and it's been nothing but positive since I got here, and right up until standing here right now. It was awesome. The fights were great tonight. That's why I want everybody sitting up here at the podium tonight, and we will be back.
Do you have a new news about the place and the soccer stadium or arena in Brazil?
No, not yet. We're still working on all that.
I have a last question for the Japanese guys. What is your feeling about the fighting in your home country, and what you feel in receive the boo, the crowd booing or the blowing, the crowd the congratulations which you lose, which you make the victory and something like that.
Anyone that's Japanese can answer that question, please.
非常に、嬉しく思っています。それで試合が終わった後に会場の
fight, and after my fight, I saw all the audience up there. It was full.
一生の思い出に。
This is my memory of my life.
やっぱね、こんだけすごいイベントがあれば日本の格闘技のレベルも上がるし、まあやっぱいつもね、どうせ練習するならね、ワクワクしながら生活していきたいから、半年に1回ぐらい UFC ジャパンやってほしいですね。
So I would like to UFC to keep coming back.
会場が満員だったのでとても嬉しかったです。
Yeah, I am happy that the venue was actually full house.
日本のファンの皆さんにUFC を見ていただけたということは僕はすごくいいことだと思います。
Appreciated that the fact that finally Japanese fans be able to watch UFC in person in the
みんなの
venue.
おかげで
And this UFC event couldn't be possible without the support of all the Japanese fans. So I'd like to I am appreciate all the help that we got.
ちょっと僕の場合まだあんまりそういう周りのことまで考えられないので
I
ちょっ
was
と
kind of full and I couldn't
なんとも
think
言えないですけ
anything
ど
except for myself about myself. But yeah, it was great.
Dana, just a couple of quick questions on Australia. You got an event out there next week. Mark's pretty uninjured, you know, after this event, and you've also got another one coming up in Brisbane later on in the year. What's the chances we're going to get to see Mark fighting down under again?
Well, he's a maniac. You know, I didn't tell you this, that when we talked backstage, he said, you know, I'd like to fight in Australia. And I said, cool, yeah, we probably, no, he's like, Saturday. I'm like, yeah, that's not going to happen. But yes, obviously it would make sense for him to fight in Australia. We'll see what happens, you know. All the fights go according to timing. You know, he fought tonight. He's ready to fight Saturday, so maybe we could, you know, get him on another card here soon. We'll see what happens.
And what do you think about the growing MMA scene in Australia? I mean, you're obviously back out there third year in a row now. You've announced another one coming up at the end of the year. You got guys like Mark who are, you know, New Zealand background and Australian based, and same with James Tahuna.
Fighters like this,
Soteropoulos.
yep, Soteropoulos. What does it mean to have these fighters, coming up prominently in the UFC for the country and for you in the marketplace there?
That's awesome. I think Australia is one of those tough countries, that a lot of tough guys come from, and I think as the sport continues to grow, every time we do an event there, it's a huge success, and I think you're going to continue to see more great talent come out of Australia.
What can you tell us about the event in Brisbane at the end of the year?
What can I tell you about it?
Yeah.
Nothing right now.
Will it be tough or?
I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I'll see you on Saturday.
Dana, when Hatsuyoki first came to the UFC, there was the talk that this is the guy that they're going to be bringing in to challenge Jose Aldo one day, and he's won 2 straight fights in the octagon. What do you make of Hatsu's performance, and how close is he to getting a title shot?
I don't know. We'll see. Again, I don't ever talk about how close the guy is to winning titles. He's had, like you said, he's had a great run here so far, and we'll see what happens.
Is he in the mix?
I don't know.
And Hatsu, for yourself, how do you feel about your performance? And Jose Aldo's obviously on the horizon for yourself. Do you think you stack up well against a champion?
それなりには今日は戦えたと思います。
I think I did a good job.
タイトルショットは焦らず
And about the title shot, I'm not rushing about it, but step by step, I'll try my best and become better fighter.
Next question. Right here, this gentleman right here. Right up here in the second row.
Hi, I have a question for Rampage, Quinton Jackson. Why did you choose the entrance music from Pride Music? Can't it?
I miss Pride, and it's no secret that the Japanese fans are my favorite fans in the whole wide world. So I just wanted to please them, and I have family here, and I wanted to cheer everybody up because I know last year the Japanese people suffered like a real bad tragedy, and I just wanted to cheer everybody up and have people happy and in a good mood tonight. And I just wanted to put on a good show from beginning to the end for the Japanese fans who I love so much.
Frankie, obviously a great fight tonight. I'm sure you're disappointed, but can you talk about as things were going on, how you scored it, could you score it, how you felt things were progressing as the fight unfolded?
I don't want to take anything away from Ben. He did a great job, but I did feel I won that fight.
And can you talk about maybe what your game plan was and how it was playing out according to your expectations, and did Ben provide anything different than what you thought he would?
No, he came hard. I knew it was going to be a tough fight, but I thought I did enough to win those rounds.
And I guess to follow up, it sounds like, Dana's not sure yet, but it sounds like Anthony may get the next shot. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like an immediate rematch is more warranted, or do you feel like that's a fair decision, considering he did have to wait before as well?
No, I'm not trying to shoot anybody out of anything they deserve, but, I had to do 2 immediate rematches, so, what's right?
I guess last question, I know you kind of mentioned it in the octagon that it's too soon to make a decision, but a lot of people are saying they'd like to see you at 145 pounds, that Aldo is a champion that doesn't have a lot of challengers right now, and maybe you might be that guy. Does that appeal to you when it's not necessarily a failure, you're walking away from lightweight, but maybe to be a stud at 145 pounds?
Yeah, I don't know. It's not something I'm thinking about right now, to be honest with you.
Knew that was coming.
Frank, you gave a great fight. I hate to kind of focus on the weight thing, but I'm curious, how much weight do you cut to be at 155, if any?
0.
Do you actually work to stay at 155?
I train hard, I eat pretty clean, but it's not like I diet or I work out any extra to lose weight. It's just what I show up, weigh-ins. I probably have to lose a pound just because, 156, something like that.
Can you talk about a potential fight? And I know that this isn't something you necessarily want to talk about. You just lost your title, but like John mentioned, a lot of people excited about a Jose Aldo fight. Can you kind of just talk about that? Have you envisioned yourself at all about how you would fight him and any challenges that he would present to you?
I mean, not really. Getting prepared for Ben was enough of a challenge, and that's what I was worried about at the time.
Would you have to cut any weight to be at 145?
Yeah, it's cut a little, but not not a whole lot.
Did Ben feel big to you tonight? Did you struggle at all with his size, or was the size really not a factor?
No bigger than the other guys I fought. He was big and strong, but not that I really felt it overwhelming or anything like that.
Thank you.
Questions for Jake. Jake, how are you feeling after the victory? Obviously, circumstances leading up to the fight are completely different than the last one. How relieved are you?
Yeah, I feel good. It was nice to get a win under my belt after coming up 2 losses. I was in a really tough situation, so it's nice to be over that. I feel mixed about my performance. Did some things right, some things wrong, but at least I got the win. It's back to training and try to prove up the mistakes I made.
Next question is for Takeya. Takeya, you're looking very serious over there. Fought at home or in your own country. You win the fight. How are you feeling right now?
Takeya Mizugaki. I am happy to have a fight in Japan, but there's something that I couldn't be satisfied about my fight. So I'm not satisfied now.
And just a quick one for Ron Lee. How are you feeling after that victory? Because it was a tough one to secure, and setting up that submission after what happened earlier on. So can you talk about the actual performance?
Yeah, he rocked me with some shots, some hard shots. I rocked him as well, so it was like a blow for blow kind of thing. And after he took me down, I just knew I had the submission.
Any questions? Is there any Japanese media here this evening? Are we done? Oh, there's one over here.
My name is Yoji for Tokyo Chun Press. I understand you are Akiyama. I'm talking about Akiyama. Akiyama is one of the favorite fighter for you, and I agree with you. He's an interesting fighter to watch. But after losing 4 fights in a row, I'm wondering if he's gonna keep fighting in the UFC.
That's a great question. And I do like Akiyama. I like his style. I like his heart. I like the way he fights. But you're right. He's lost quite a few in a row. We'll see what happens. We'll get together and I'll talk to the team. Me, Lorenzo, and Joe Silva will make a decision on whether he gets cut or not.
Well, then what advice would you give to your fellow Japanese brethren about, we got to take this to the next level and show that the Japanese fighters are some of the best in the world still?
It's kind of difficult to figure advice to Japanese fighters. But be flashy. Do something.
For Jake over there. Jake, were you surprised any at all when you saw Akiyama going back to his roots and using that judo that he became famous for?
Not at all. He's a judo, I think, world champ or medalist at least. So he's someone at that level. You wouldn't be surprised at all if they tried some throws, and they're pretty clean. It wasn't quite sure what happened. All of a sudden I was on the ground. I'm like, oh, that was nice. I guess I'm gonna have to watch it to see what he did.
Were you surprised at all with the fluidity of how good it looked at 170 and the way he moved? Because to address Dana as well, the discussions you were going to have with Lorenzo about cutting him, I mean, he looked tremendous at 170.
Yeah, I thought, it's a great weight for him. He was really, really strong, fast. He was definitely really, really tough. I expected him to be really strong, but I was still a little surprised at how strong his hips and stuff were.
Yeah, he's been around for a long time. I've been telling him to go to 170 forever. He looked strong tonight. He looked strong, and he fought one of the best 170 pounders in the world, and they went to a decision. So it's always tough with Akiyama. He's a fun fighter to watch.
日本にまた来ると今言っていただきましたけれども、改めて今日の大会を振り返って UFC と今後日本の格闘技文化ってどのような形で
What do you think about UFC and Japanese MMA's collaboration, or are you going to cohere with Japanese MMA, or
日本人ファイターの今後のどういった点を期待しているか。
and what did you think about all Japanese fighters who fought today?
Yeah. It was great. This was an awesome event. I was very happy with it from beginning to end. We had a great time here. and I love the fight tonight. I mean, I think that everybody, Japanese, American, Polish, whatever you were tonight, you put on a great event, and that's why I have so many chairs. We've never done a press conference like this. All these chairs are here, all these people are here because they absolutely deserve to be. Hope I answered your question.
Hi, I have a question to Mr. Dana. What do you feel about the Mizugaki's fight?
Well, he's here right now, right? I mean, you know, I'm not a judge, but you know how I am when I think that something is wrong and needs to be righted. He's here and he got paid his win bonus.
Yeah, my question is for Anthony. I guess you're getting ready for all the Crow Cop jokes. Have you heard any yet?
No, I haven't heard any yet, but I had a similar kick in the WEC, and you know, a lot of people were joking around with the Crow Cop kick. But I mean, I have my own style, man. I'm Anthony Pettis, and I don't try to be like anybody else. I'm just trying to bring my own style into this game.
Can you talk about how you might be the, I guess, the best fit to fight Benson Henderson at this point?
Well, I'm the last guy to beat him, so I mean, it makes sense for us to have a rematch. The last guy to beat him in the WEC, took his belt there, and looks like I'm bound to do it again.
And next question is for Dana. Dana, you said you want to come back for sure. Would the idea be to have a lot of Japanese fighters back on that card, or are you going to look to have another title event here? Any thoughts to changing the times to have it at nighttime as opposed to daytime for the pay-per-views back home?
Nope. Probably be exactly the same. It's tough as we go into these new markets. You know, the pay-per-view is still back home. You know, the United States and Canada. So, you know, we have to run these at this time. And then as far as Japanese talent, yeah, I mean, we're always going to showcase Japanese talent here and everywhere else around the world.
ジェナ社長に質問があります。今回ちょっと小耳に挟んだんですけど、
I heard a rumor
ジャッジがイギリスから来てたって
there were judges from UK.
日本には MMA のことをすごく理
There
解
are so many Japanese judges who is fond of MMA, and probably they are knowledgeable than UK judges. But what do you think about inviting Japanese judge to
Is that a
UFC?
question for me?
Yeah.
Don't even get me started, believe me. I don't even know what to say. Yeah, I mean, I've been the most vocal guy on the planet about judging and reffing. I mean, I don't disagree with you. Problem is as an organization, we probably don't know who all the great referees are here in Japan. You know what I mean? But we need to educate ourselves too on who they are. Thoughts?
Hey, Benson, congratulations, bottom row here to your left. Congratulations on your victory. I'm sure you haven't had a chance really to soak it in, but how are you feeling right now? And you know, considering fighting in Japan and pulling off that incredible performance against Frankie.
Well, it really is an honor. I'm happy to be, headlining the card. Happy to be here in Japan. It really is a, bit of a historic moment. First time Zuffa has been in Japan. First time UFC in over 10 years. It was a great event. It was a huge success. Sold the place out. I believe the Japanese fans had a good show. Hopefully, when we come back here or do another show in another Asian country somewhere, we'll be able to sell those out too.
Before you got here, the discussion was, would it be an immediate rematch with Frankie Edgar or Anthony Pettis getting the next title shot? If you had a preference, or does it matter who you would face next?
It really doesn't matter to me. I want to defend it however many times Anderson Silva defends his, +1. So whoever it happens to be, whether it's Frankie again, I'm down for that. Anthony Pettis, I see you doing big things, making waves. Great fighter, a very, yeah, there he is. Great fighter, this guy right here. Very spectacular. If it happens to be Anthony, then so be it. Whoever it is, I'm okay with it. Sounds good to me. But I believe there's a long list of guys. Nate, Jim, Frankie, Anthony, let's do it. Let's do every single one of them.
I believe that was your mom. That was pretty close there, fairly vocal. Could you hear her, and what was going through your mind when you heard her screaming and stuff?
Yeah, my mom has a pretty distinct voice. I can hear her everywhere.
Any other questions?
「マーク・ハント選手、ランページ・ジャクソン選手、ジェイク・シールズ選手、お三方にご質問なんですが、かつて日本の
You fought in Japan in the past. You've experienced this before, but we loved by Japanese fighters, Japanese fans so much. But what did you think about the audience reaction today in the venue?
Well, I loved it. They were great. Really tough, so it was good to get the good reception from them.
I was really happy with all the cheers and stuff when I came out to the Pride music and stuff. But I was very disappointed at the boos when I was on my back getting my butt kicked. I felt really ashamed. I was trying my best to do better, but next time I want to have more cheers throughout the whole fight. But I was very happy to be back here fighting again.
I thought the crowd was really enthusiastic. It seemed a lot louder when I fought Shudo and Pancrase. They were cheering, even a few boos, and it was really enthusiastic. I was really surprised. It was great.
Two lightweight title match fighters, Frankie and Benson. There are so many cheers for you, even if it's home in Japan. But how did you think about Japanese audience?
I thought the Japanese audience was awesome. Actually hearing them cheer before in the earlier fights, they got pretty loud, pretty raucous. It was awesome hearing that. I don't know if it's normal or not normal from what I've heard. It's normally a pretty quiet crowd, but they were loud. They were playing loud, and then going into the fifth round, they got pretty hyped up, and I feed off that. That definitely fuels my fire. So it was great to hear that and great to feed off that.
Yeah, same for me. I felt at home. Felt like a normal fight. Loud, boisterous. It was all good.